Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. We got them, that's why we are, the Sports Mix Update. We got all your basketball update in Australia, that's what it is. The A-League, it's the Australian, New Zealand and the Big Bash League, the Australian Big Bash League here, right here on the BJ Show. I can't wait, let's get on with it, we got so much.
Hey guys, BJ here from the BJ Show, wishing you all a Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas to everyone. Thank you so much for supporting the BJ Show. I would like to thank you all for liking, subscribing and also watching as much as you are sharing that goal. I'd like to give you up to 3,000 or 4,000 0,000 watch is the major goal. I would like to thank you all and hoping you join. Now, the laptop's been a bit funny, but yep, on your screen as I speak, I am going to be doing a live. Now, on 28th of December 2025, we're going to celebrate the close of Christmas and celebrate into the New Year. So join at 8 p.m, can't wait. Join in the conversation, it's going to be a big show. Thank you so much for your support. Can't wait, and I can't wait for you to share with me what you did for your Christmas, your family and friends, and just all your best ones out there. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I am sharing this to you. We'll see you live here on the BJ Show. Thanks for joining in. Cheers.
So, welcome all. Make sure you hit that subscribe right on your screen. Thank you very much for your support. As well, hit that like, hit that notification. Much appreciated for your support. All right, let's drive into it. Hello, welcome to the A-League. Let's get on into the A-League update. Enjoy all the latest updates of the A-League competition. Welcome all to the BJ Show Mix Sports episode. As mentioned in the intro, if you like, give it a like, subscribe, all that. Thank you for watching as well. So today we got the basketball, the Australian basketball for the men's and the women's. Then we also have the A-League for the men's and women's as well, the BBL 15. So all the results, all the updates, previews ahead of time. Stay tuned because we've got an absolute whipping off episode here on the channel. Make sure you stay tuned as we've got big news to coming your way. All right, let's get on as we enter the A-League. Hello and welcome all. Oh, how exciting are you? We're here for another update for the A-League men's and women's, known for the Sasasuki League of known for the men's and the Ninja A-League Women's League competition. Let's get on with it. Got so much to cover, so much results, and so much to more with previous results of all. So let's get on with it. So I hope you enjoy much as I do. Thanks for watching and thank you for your support. So far, so good. So we've got, like I mentioned, we've got so much to cover. So we do start off with round 7 and 8 results for the Ninja A-League Women's League competition. So I'm going to get straight into the results in that. So we've got so much to cover. So Perth Glory and Wellington Phoenix take head-to-head. And Perth Glory, well done on the win. Melbourne Victory and that's hosting the LA United, a good ride order, and Melbourne Victory way a little bit better on the day for Adelaide United. Canberra United versus Melbourne City. Well done, Canberra United with the win. We got the next game. We got Western Sydney Warriors hosting Central Coast Mariners FC. Well done to Central Coast Mariners FC with the win. Next game, we have the week off of Brisbane Roar. Enjoy your week off, and I hope you did. We go to the next game, which is coming on to the Isaac Suzuki A-League men's competition. Mafarman Bulls hosting Brisbane Roar, and they took a nice win from Mafarman Bulls. Well done on the win. Western Sydney Warriors first hosting Auckland FC. Well done, Auckland FC with the win. Newcastle Jets hosting Sydney FC. Well done, Newcastle Jets FC with the win. Melbourne City versus the Melbourne Victory. The Rhinos are on. Well done to Melbourne Victory FC with the win. Perth Glory hosting LA United. Well done, LA United with the win. Game 6, we're almost there with the result. Well done to Wellington Phoenix with the win as they host, Central Coast Mariners. Round 8 results. And we come to Newcastle Jets hosting Melbourne Victory. Well done to Melbourne Victory with the win. Wellington Phoenix hosting Sydney FC. Well done to Wellington Phoenix with the win. This is all to do with the Ninja A-League competition. Canberra United host the Central Coast Mariners. Well done. Well, this game was a draw, so well done to both. Well, we have Perth Glory hosting LA United. Well done, Perth Glory with the win. Now that's done, time to head over to the men's competition. We have round 10, Ninja A-League. Then we'll share the eyes at Suzuki. Well, so all with this, I'm now going to share my preview. Melbourne City hosting Melbourne Victory. Melbourne Victory to take the win. Western Sydney Warriors hosting Wellington Phoenix. I'm going to take that draw. Central Coast Mariners versus Brisbane Roar. I'm going for Central Coast Mariners with the win. We come to the next game, Newcastle Jets hosting LA United, another draw. There we go. And Perth Glory and Sydney FC as well as a draw. But now we come to the preview for the Aussie UTE A-League men's. Newcastle Jets host Farmer Bulls. That's going to be a draw in my thoughts. My thoughts are now going to game number 2. Sydney FC hosting Auckland FC. I'm going for Sydney FC with the win. LA United versus Sydney Warriors. Western Sydney Warriors. I'm going with LA United taking the win. Melbourne City FC host Perth Glory. I'm going to take this draw. The next one will be a draw between Melbourne Victory and Wellington Phoenix. And the final game, Central Coast Mariners hosting Brisbane Roar. Brisbane Roar to take the win. That's all for today. Hope you give this a like. Thank you so much, and thanks for watching as well. And as well, giving you a awesome subscribe. I much appreciate for your support. Thank you for all the exciting episodes coming your way here on the channel. All right, my name's BJ. Thanks for listening. BJ Shows Out. And Merry Christmas to you all. All right, BJ Shows Out. Bye for now. Peace. We are done with our league. Hoping you enjoy it and give this a like. You like this so far. Well, let's just say the BBL. What a Christmas additional here on the BJ Show. All right, let's get to the BBL 15 week 1. Hope you enjoy it. Here we go. For any of that, let's get onto it. So we do have the Australian in England third Ashes series for the test in Adelaide, South Australia. We also got all the results locked in, and we're going to share the BBL first week here as I'm going to be doing. So, for our doubt, let's get straight into the first and all, the third Ashes series between Australia and England test series. And oh my goodness, this was not just a test. Wow. Now, I'll give England a little bit better. Knew this was a bit of a heartbroken because thought it would be a bit better, in my opinion. So, for our doubt, we're going to share the final scores for both innings, just for the beginning. So, Australia scored first inning standard of 371, then 349. That was Australia. England, 286. And 352. Now, how did that all work? It all actually overall England totally really won by 3 runs. But overall, it was actually quite interesting to put together. So, as a doubt, I'm going to share how each batter did overall. And like I said, what a series it was. And credit to England really stepping up to the challenge. So, our doubt, we're going to share the wickets. So, Joe Farr 5 wickets for 53. Pretty good effort. Brandon Price, 2 for 89. 164 for Josh Tong. Ben Stokes, none for 53. And Will Jacks, 2 for 105. But the batters for Australian, amazing. Wow. Travis Head, 10 28. Jack Wayfall, 18 for 27. Montford Lombard, 19 for 40. Yuzma Kramer, 82 for 126. A duck, Cameron Green, the first duck at the Adelaide Oval. Not great because could have done some really good damage, but unfortunately it was the hometown Alex Carey, 106 for 143. Pretty good effort. Josh Ingles, 32 from 39. Pat Cummins, 13 from 19. Mitchell Stark has been very, very good with the bat, 54 from 75. Nathan Lyon, 9 for 35. And Scott Boulan, 14 from 21. Pretty good effort. England came with the bat. Zach Howley, 9 for 19. Ben Duckley, 29 from 30. Oli Polk, 3 for 10. Joe Root, 19 from 31. Harry Brook, pretty good effort, 45 from 3. Ben Stokes, pretty good, bit better with the bat this time, 83 from 198. Jamie Smith, 22 from 26. Will Jack for 29. Brendan Pace, Duck from 5. 51, 105. Joy Farr, and Josh Tangi, 7 for 12 as a substitution. So, and Nathan Lyon was also their substitution, came in, and well, we'll share that very shortly. Then Australia. This is what how good about this Test series. Australia will find ways to actually perform in ways that we don't know what will happen. And England had to find something, but unfortunately, it was just not enough for England. They were in this game in the second innings. They had everything we got this. But unfortunately, it was Travis Head, another hometown boy, 170 from 219. 1 from 10, Jack Whereful. Montford Lombard, 13 from 45. 40 from 51, Cruiser. 40 from 51. Cameron Green, better, 7 from 7. Alex Carey, 72 from 128. Josh Ingles, 10 from 20. 6 from 18, Pat Cummins. Mitchell Stark, 7 for 8. Stark from Nathan Lyon. And 1 from 6, Scott Boulan. So, for the bowlers for Australia now, we are going to share the first innings for the Australians taking attack. Australia was taking on that, but we'll share that very shortly. Joe Farr, 1 for 20, 3 for 80 from Brendan Case, better. 4 for 70, Josh Tung. Will Jacks, 1 for 107, Joe Root, none for 32. So, the first innings, if I do apologise, and I do apologise about not saying about wickets and that for Australian bowlers, but Mitch Starkey, 1 for 61, 3 for 69, Pat Cummins. Scott Boulan, 3 for 45, 2 for 70, Nathan Lyon, and 1 for 33, Cameron Green. So there you go. There's all your batters. And we start off, and this is where England really got their game at one stage. Really got their, there's something about, England really needs to respond this game, and this innings big time. They are coming hard. They were 400-something runs, and then unfortunately was 82 runs short. Now, I'll just let you know Australia did well in that last innings, the last session, they got 4 wickets in one day, got the job done. But I will now share Zach Curry, 85 from 151. Ben Duckley, 4 for 2. 17-29, Ollie Pope. Joe Root, 39-63, 30 for 56. Harry Brook. Ben Stokes, fortunately, 5 from 18. Jamie Smith, 60 from 83. Will Jack, pretty good effort, 47 from 137. Brendan Case got subbed out from 39 from 64. Joe Afer, 3 for 14. And Josh hung out with 1 for 3. So unfortunately, wasn't enough. But Mitch Starkey, 3 for 62, pretty similar, but 2 plus on the game. 3 for 48, Pat Cummings. Scott Bullen, 1 for 35, Nathan Lyon. Fortunately, he had a bit of a calf issue during that innings. 3 for 77 for Nathan Lyon. And Cameron Green, 1 for 44. So I think this shows how good the Australians can find. Now, the Ashes is theirs. They claim it 3-0. But I think England's going to come out and just do your best. I'm really hoping, because this is a boxing test that can be anything. Anyone can win it. But I think we need to just give some respect. Look, it's been a challenge Ashes series. I think England will learn so much, when you come to the Lawns Ashes series. Like, Ashes is Australia and Lawns is in England. So when you play on your home soil and you know the conditions, that's great. But it's a very, very different kind of weather we had, and it was very hot conditions. It's fantastic to have, international visitors come to Australia down under and support the sold out crowds all over. Hopefully they'll be really all sold out. So I'm hoping that, we didn't have some of the stars into this Ashes game in Adelaide, and C. Smith was dropped for this one, and I think they're going to enjoy and have some fun with their team. I think England, if they can get them together, I think they did well. I think give them credit. I give them so much credit, in my opinion, and how much they can really show what they can do. But I really think it's going to be a really good one, and we'll share how too early about the team selections and all that. Merry Christmas to everyone at the time I record this, and have a lovely, lovely day with all your friends and family, and have a really, really pleasant day. It's really important. So enough is enough. Now let's move on. Congratulations to Australia, not just claiming, but with the win, back claiming the Ashes series over England. They are rivals. So now I am going to share BBL, Big Bash League, the Australian Big Bash League, with stars come over the world to play in this sport, this great sport. And what games I'm going to share is the very first match of the Ashes, the BBL. I apologise, keep saying that word, but we all love our BBL, and wow, honour to share all the latest. And oh my goodness, we've got some great games on our hands, and I'm proud to present. Now, I have shared match 1, but I'm going to do a little bit of rundown just to refresh all your memory. That well done to Perth Scorchers. It was a 10 over, 11 over match. Perth Scorchers open up against hosting Sixers. Well done to that. Then we had our first 200 match with Melbourne Renegades taking a 14-run win down at GMHBA Stadium in Geelong, where Geelong Cats, sexy Geelong Cats, as Aidan mentioned, as mentioned. So if you missed the last episode with Aidan, make sure you check it out. It's a fantastic cricket show. Go and check it out as well. So we do have the updates of these games now. So match number 3, Hobart Hunter Games hosting the Sydney Thunder at Newgate Stadium in Hobart. The champs took on an absolute filler full wicket win, 6 for 181. Hobart Hunter Games, Sydney Thunder 6 for 180. Really nervous with 1 ball remaining with the bat. And all Hobart need to do is hit a 4, and they've done it. They were safe. So, match number 4, we just continue on. This is the game I actually watched. We're in Sydney at SCG. Boy, What an entertainment. Well done, Adelaide Strikers. Play their first game for the season and taking a win against the runners-up. Final score 9-159, 7-1. Well done to the Adelaide Strikers. We come to another classic. Where's Melbourne Stars taking on the champs, and they took it really nicely with an 8-wicket win. Final score there, 2-for-159, 9-1-158. Really close effort. So there's a lot of teams scoring 150 plus in this so far. That's a pretty much an average, in my opinion, between 150, 155 and above. So this is a pretty much the similar scoreline. Whoa. We had our very first ever 250 in BBL history, in what I can see. Brisbane Heat taking a 8-wicket win with one ball remaining. 258 to 6, 257. This was at the Gala, and the other one was played at MCG and match number 5 between Melbourne Stars and Hobart Renegades champs and Sydney Sixers, and the LA Strikers, and match number 4 was at the SCG. So we do now come to match number 7, and this was at ENGIE Stadium in the west of Sydney, with the all out with the Sydney Sixers. They are runners-up, taking a 47-run victory, 5-for-198. Sydney Sixers all out for 151. Sydney Thunder. The next one we have, boy, everyone's taking on the effort all. We go down once again at GMHBA Stadium in Geelong. Melbourne Renegades hosting the Hobart Renegades, and Hobart Renegades taking a 7-wicket win with 37 balls remaining. Final score 3-149. Hobart Renegades to 9-145. Melbourne Renegades. Well, the Hobart Renegades are 3-for-149. Melbourne Renegades are 9-145. Hopefully that is all clear. Let's get, that is match number 8. Match number 9. So I'm going to be doing this weekly, as I mentioned. I hope you all enjoy matches. I have shared all this update here on this channel. Giving this a like and subscribe down below. Make sure you're all enjoying every latest sport in here on this channel. So match number 9 for BBL and 15. We had Sydney Thunder hosting the Brisbane Heat, and this was at the Combley Group Oval in Monaco. So the final score, it was a Sydney Thunder 34-run victory. Final score 4-199, 4-for-193, defeated 6-159. So we come, and that comes into match number 10. We are totally on the halfway mark. We shared the results, and I will continue to do that as much as I can. So match number 10, 15, I'll be going to this game. Boy, I can't wait to share this game. And I will be going to match number only up to the Sunday. So, okay, let's get on with it. So, match number 10 is the Adelaide Strikers' first home game for the season for BBL 15, hosting the Sydney Melbourne Stars, pretty in good form. What a game this will be. Adelaide Strikers take just over the line with a really close battle. We come into the next one with KSC BBL 15 match 11, Sydney Sixers. Sydney Sixers hosting the Melbourne Stars. Boy. They're going from Adelaide Oval, the Melbourne Stars. They're going to Sydney. As Sydney Sixers host the Melbourne Stars. What a classic boxing night of cricket. Then we go to match number 12 for the second game for Perth Scorchers hosting the Hobart Renegades. What a game that will be. And match number 11 will be Melbourne Stars. I think they'll take that win, just holding on. And I'm going to say with the Perth. So the next one is match number 13. It's Brisbane Heat and the LA Strikers. A classic what could be. I'm going to stay with LA Strikers because I'm going to want to stay with LA Strikers. That's the team I go for. I think Brisbane will just hold on. I think it's going to be one of those battles. And I think this will be a Brisbane Heat win. Unfortunately, I don't want to say that. Too risky, but then that'll be that. So we come into closing of the end of the year with the Melbourne Stars at the hosting in Canberra, Monaco Oval. And we're going to hosting the Sydney Thunder. So this is tend to be a Melbourne Stars home game. I'm saying it's Melbourne Stars. I think they'll take the win. Match number 15 for BBL 15. Hobart Renegades versus the Melbourne Renegades at Ninja Stadium in Hobart. And this could be an interesting battle. Both can score 200 plus. But I'm really backing off Hobart. They are at home, they're very good, and they had chance for reasons. So I'm going with them. Match number 15 as we wrap it up with 2 more games remaining to end the year. And we got the Sydney Thunder hosting the Perth Scorchers. Really think Perth will take that one. It's a bit too early at the moment. And match 17 to wrap it up with the LA Strikers hosting on New Year's Eve. They do every year. They host the Brisbane Heat. For the second time this season, Adelaide Strikers should take the end to celebrate New Year's Eve. Okie dokie. Guess what? That's it. That's another episode here. Give it a like if you like. And make sure you enjoy watching this. Also, subscribe down below. Thank you very much for your support. We'll see you soon. Stay tuned for all the A-League, all the NBL and the WNBL, all those late sports, as well the cricket show here on the channel of the BJ Show. Alright, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy it. Merry Christmas and a safe and happiest New Year coming in. Alright, BJ Show's out. Thanks for playing. Thanks for listening. Cheers. Well, I hope you enjoy that sport, the BBL update and all the tests as well. I do apologise. The cricket show is really what it's all about. But you say BBL 15. I've also mentioned that as well of the Ashes series. So stay tuned for the boxing test. What an episode that's to come in. We now got the NBL and WNBL. What a absolutely, well, the pre-entertainment and the post. We got so much. It is the holiday season. It is the Christmas basketball festival in Australia. Let's dive into it. Here we go. Now into some basketball news. I can't wait to share with you all. Here we go. Hello everyone, welcome back. We are here. A Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy Festival round for the NBL and the WNBL. Let's get it on. So welcome aboard. If you're new, well, make sure you give us a like, subscribe. Thanks for watching for those who have really deep into it. So we got a few games to get on with today's show and so much to cover with the WNBL and the NBL. So much basketball and what's going around the Australian League. So this is the Australian Summer League. So we do have the 12 Days of Christmas NBL. Don't check that out as well. We'll be sharing that. Well, hopefully we have time to get that out. But anyway, we also have the one game remaining for round 9 between Southside Melbourne Flyers versus Geelong Beacons. So that will be all game. That game will be resolved into next episode. So I do apologize for all that if I don't get this out. I hope that I can share that, but it'll be all shared next round. And round 10 results and one game for the previews for round 10, all round 11 as well for previews. So it's round 10 and one game for that. So we also got the NBL 13 results and 14 previews. So there will be a few games, will be 2 games will not be included, but I will review those games in here and they'll be all results and shared at the next episode. So hope you enjoy it. Let's get on with it. So yeah, highlight and welcome back from other updates for the WNBL and NBL 26 series. And today we'll be sharing with all the latest basketball right here in Australia, known for the National Basketball League, NBL, and the Women's National Basketball League, WNBL. We all know Christmas is coming and we are celebrating the festival basketball right here in Australia, or as well like the NBL. So NBA and NBL very similar in different ways. They run their basketball games during the Christmas festive holiday season. So, and wherever you word it, it's totally up to you. So once aboard, welcome aboard. So let's dive into. We start with WNBL with all the latest round 9, and we have one game to share, which will be result at the next episode. So it's a little bit ahead of. I want to get this out as soon as possible. So thank you so much for those who have enjoyed this basketball league and much as I do. But we do start with round 10 results and game 1. Well, before we get to game 1, do have the result of the Southside Melbourne Flyers. Well done with the win, 86-58. So there you go. But we do now come to game 1, as I mentioned. Bendigo Spirits take on LA Lightning. And boy, this game, like, LA Lightning are struggling. We all know that. They've gone through coaches after coaches over the time of the years. And Bendigo Spirits, they just look really much better. They look really good. They're taking on a level that no one even gets in so many levels. And I think they're looking really good. You know, Tugger wins a win. LA will be tested at times, but only 8 points on the road against a very good, pretty quality side for Bendigo Spirit. But I think this was going to be a really good test for Adelaide. Adelaide are still finding their basketball and how they want to play. It does not work overnight. We know how important this was, but yeah, well done to Bendigo. With the 8 points, 75-67 is the final score. And this was actually a good game to watch as well. All right. Back-to-back basketball for hoops. Saturday hoops for the WNBL. So we got game 2 on our hands for Sydney Flames hosting Townsville Fire. Now, Townsville took the win. Well done to Townsville Fire. Final score, it is 96-76. 20 points. Another good win. But to say that, the Townsville Fire looking good at the moment. Even though in that top 4 or top of the ladder, they're looking very, very nicely. They are looking one of the best teams, and they are one of the favourites to win the championship. They are one of the hardest teams to play as well. Game 3 for the WNBL. All the results are coming your way, but the UC. So they're the Canberra Capitals hosting Geelong Romans. Well done to UC Capitals. 9-4 Canberra Capitals with the win. Final score. Well, this is the final score. Here we go. 77-73. I am going to think this could be in the game of the round. Well, let's go back into now. We head into Sunday. With back-to-back for WNBL. First game is game 4. Southside Melbourne Flyers hosting Bendigo Spirit. Well done to Bendigo Spirit heading into back-to-back wins. Final score 60-17. We had 2 good teams going head-to-head. Well done to Bendigo Spirit with the win. Game 5, and boy, I thought this could be a win for the LA Lightning after the 8-point defeat in Bendigo on Friday night, coming on to Sunday night basketball hoops. And I've got to say, I thought Adelaide will test Melbourne, but were far too good, way too good. And final score 82-109, a very big win in Adelaide. For Adelaide Lightning are going through some challenges during the season with under new coach changing over plays and all that. That happens. I know that LA Lightning will find magic after the Christmas Spirit Festival, and I know coming over from changing coach to coach, and I have respect. LA Lightning are going through some massive changes, but getting good crowds, that's what you want. New logo, new team, players are staying on, which is really important. Knowing that LA Lightning will get better, and I'll back them off from that. So that was the final game. So that was game 5. So we do have a couple Tuesday night hoops I'm going to now share. They're the last 2 games for this round. for round 10. So no results are being shared because Tuesday Hoops Christmas Festival holiday season night. So I'm going to share my previews for these games and we're going to go straight into round 11. Round 10, the last two games will be shared at the end. Then we're going to results from there, from round 11 into previews round 12. And I'll continue to do that to the end of this basketball season. So, falling into Townsville Fire versus Sydney Flames for the first out of two Tuesday night hoops for the WNBL and for the Christmas season or festival season, holiday season, however you want to word. And who should I? Well, so I'm going to let you all know this game will be shared with the results at the next episode. Same with Perth Lynx versus UC Capitals. Suck the same thing. Who should I go for? Who should I think I should go for? I am backing off and I will be thrown towards Townsville Fire. They're hosting this game. Perth Lynx after that big win against Adelaide Lightning back at home, and I'm going with them to take the win. We are heading a halfway mark of this episode. Now, before we get into it, hope you actually give this a like. Hope that you enjoy it much as I am sharing and loving and all. So I'm happy to share much as I enjoy doing this for you. And subscribe, and I hope you enjoy watching this. That's the big important part. All right, let's get back on with it. So we do come to the NBL round 13. And with finals and paleness, we got, Adelaide 36ers, and this is how, they're looking good. Melbourne United, they're coming off some really bad losses. They lost the last four from their win. Now, we'll share that very soon with Melbourne United. But what rounds of basketball we had for the NBL, this festival round, the holiday season, however you wish to word it. Now, the first game we start off with Wednesday night basketball, Wednesday night hoops, however you like to word it. So we do start off with known from the Iron Cup. So it's a prize cup that Sydney and Adelaide heading to was not hosted by Sydney teams in Sydney. It was actually played at the IAS in Canberra, which no team actually hosted this game, but it was Sydney's home game. It was, however, Sydney team's home game for the Iron Cup. Sydney Kings do take this game OT and took a 97-93 win. Sydney Kings have taken Adelaide no defeat. This is not an NBL point. This is to do with completely competition. Brand new to this. But how Adelaide 36 is coming to their third game straight in a row. Their third overtime defeat comes with a loss. 2 out of 3 is actually wins in Adelaide. So one's in not in Adelaide. So and nothing to do with the NBL. So anyone can actually do really well. But unfortunately, that's pretty well done to Sydney with the win. And, LA came down with a 3-pointer and lost over Sydney at the IRS. So, back-to-back Thursday night hoops, back with the NBL 26. Hope you enjoy it. And we are in Melbourne. The first one's at John Cain Arena. And then in Perth at a Arena, known for the jungle. But the Perth Rockets host the South Eastern Melbourne Phoenix. Now, we do now talk about, we head to the first games at John Cain Arena. We start off and share with Melbourne United hosting their game. Now, Melbourne United coming there for straight game loss in a row. But Melbourne United are back on the win list once again, coming into this Christmas special season. With Melbourne United are still a good team after their 4 loss. They improved, showing fair to improve from a loss and a win. They are hosting the Eagle Hawks, the champions of NBL 25. Now, we know the Eagle Hawks are going through some massive rebuilding changes, some what's been happening, and we'll share that game with the Eel Hawks very soon. Can't wait for that. But Melbourne United have shown they're back in in the window favourites for the championship. But are they favourites at this point? But, Melbourne United taking a nice win, 97-75, 22-point win. Well done, Melbourne United with the win. All right, done with the first game in Melbourne. All right, we're done. The first game in Melbourne, done and dusted. We now head to Perth at RAC Arena in Perth at the Jungle for the Perth Wildcats hosting South Eastern Melbourne Phoenix. What a game this was, and my thoughts, this was the game of the round by far and beyond. Now, my thoughts of this game of the round with Perth Wildcats finding ways to win and South Eastern Melbourne Phoenix to learn their craft of basketball. But this game was anyone's win, and boy, it was. The final score 76-77. But it was well done to the South Eastern Melbourne Phoenix, holding a big road win in Perth, which is not an easy thing to do on the road to the west of Australia. And win, even if it's not one of 100, it's big. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 100 points. It's another way of wording it. My biggest general question is Perth Wildcats, are they at home? Well, it's the visiting team. Doesn't matter who, to go to Perth and take the win. My answer is no. It's not easy to go to Perth. You can't just show up and get the win. You've got to work for it. You've got to have the team culture together. And that's so important. Anyone can go to Adelaide, go to Perth, go to Melbourne. Those are the major cities at the moment. And then that is including Perth. You've got 4 cities, and one of the best, and even Tasmania. You go to their city. You've got to really don't just walk in the park anymore. Don't walk on court and we got this game. You know when it's time. But anyway, moving forward, this is big. Well done to South Eastern Melbourne Phoenix. Very nicely coming into the Christmas Festival City or holiday season, however you want to name it. All right, are you ready for Friday Night Hoops? And we are in Cairns at the Cairns Convention Centre. It's the Cairns Taipans hosting New Zealand Breakers. First up, well done to Cairns Taipans with the win in front of their Cairns Taipans fans. Final score was a very nice, high scoring 99-95. Pretty good, almost 200 points overall. But it was close all game. It was a big win and in close game and take it well. Could Cairns Taipans take the win and go into the next game, which we won't be an easy road trip as Cairns Taipans taking on Sydney Kings in Sydney, which will not be easy. What great games so far for Christmas festival season. Next up, we've got back-to-back Saturday Hoods, and first up, what a game this was. Maybe one of the first versus 8. What a game this was. Eel Hawks hosting Adelaide 36ers at the Win Entertainment Centre. Then we head to Melbourne at John Cone Arena. Back there again at South East Melbourne Phoenix host Brisbane Bullets with the new head coach from Brisbane Bullets, we'll share very soon, will be there with the next game. So, first up, we got the Eel Hawks hosting LA 36. What a game this was. This is far beyond the game of the round. Final score 78-84. Well done. Adelaide 36's big heartbreaking win, and they take it. This was the win. Adelaide 36 just need to get back on the winning list after they sitting nicely on the NBL ladder, but after that loss against the Sydney Kings at the IS on Wednesday night for the Eel Cup. But I think that congratulations to Adelaide with that win, but it was congratulations to the Eel Hawks. Their players stepped up. There was none of this, no McGee and no Harvey for the Eel Hawks, the big point guard and centre. Injuries come on the line for them, and they get defeated by 6 points. Their players are up and around. The coach is such a good coach. I have respect for the Eel Hawks in so many ways. But Adelaide 36 were the better. I watched this game, and every moment, they just kept shooting. They could not miss. But the Eel Hawks were just not enough. They had everything. Adelaide had control all night, and they take the win. But we come to the second game, South East Melbourne Phoenix hosting Brisbane Bullets. Now, challenges come to Brisbane Bullets and the team and the coach, head coach there. there's a lot going on with Brisbane Bullets, but when they're 778, this happens in team culture. How Brisbane Bullets face and challenge, they're going to face that. And I trust them, they will come better as the season comes to an end. All right, we now come to the last two games, which are Tuesday night hoops for my thoughts and all round 14-14 reviews. But before we do that, that is all coming soon. We got Sunday hoops as we got the last back-to-back Sunday hoops before the Christmas weekend hits in. But we first up with My Saints Bank Arena in Tasmania as well for the final game in Sydney at Kudos Bank Arena. What good games we had, but I think this one's a bit better. But Tasmanian Jumpers hosting Perth Wildcats. Final score in a close game, 85-94. Well done to Perth Wildcats with the win. Boy, big roving over in Tasmania at My Saints Bank Arena. This was a good win by Perth Wildcats after they really needed that win after being at home. Final game. And I just want to make this short and sweet and we can move on to my previews. But we do come to the end of today's show with finishing in Sydney at Sydney Kings host Cairns Taipans. Final score was 119-79 at Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney. This game was not going to be easy by Sydney Kings, but it was one team show. Cairns Taipans wanted to play some great basketball against New Zealand in Cairns, go to Sydney, get a challenge, didn't really want to play. They got absolute belted everywhere, and Sydney just knew how important, how Cairns will have so much confidence over New Zealand, go to Sydney, and Sydney were not going to let that happen. And Cairns Taipans do come play Adelaide V6 in the Eel Cup, so you never know what can happen with that. So we come to the last two games. It's time to do Monday hoops and Tuesday hoops. First one's in Brisbane, then Melbourne. All right, first game, Monday hoops in Brisbane. As I mentioned, we are heading to the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, BEC. Interesting to know. AEC, BEC. Anyway, Brisbane Bullets hosting New Zealand Breakers. I'm going to go New Zealand Breakers to take the win. Second game in Melbourne, John Cone Arena, Melbourne United versus Sydney. Melbourne United versus Tasmanian Jumpers. I'm going with Melbourne United with the win. Trying to get some festival holiday season special. We got Christmas hoops, Christmas Eve for the Eel Cup. We're heading to Adelaide Entertainment Centre as the V6 host the Taipans. Can't say too much, but Adelaide V6 should take the win. Thursday night hoops. It is a very happy holiday to everyone for Christmas night for the NBL 26. We are at Kudos Bank Arena for the Sydney Kings host the Hawks for the Christmas special. And I'm tipping Sydney Kings with the win. Friday night hoops. We are for the Boxing night for this game. We're in the hoops of My Saint Arena. Tasmanian Jumpers versus New Zealand Breakers. I'm going with Tasmanian Jumpers. Take the win on Boxing night. We're back at Brisbane Entertainment Centre. It's Brisbane. The host. Brisbane Bullets host Melbourne United. And I'm going with Melbourne United with the win on the road. Heading back to the hoops of Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Best two teams in the comp. Adelaide V6s versus Perth Wildcats. What a game this will be, okay? What a game this will be. My thoughts, this will be close all night, all day. I'm going to Adelaide V6 to take the win. And what it should be one of the great games to watch. Time to go to WNBL Round 11 previews. Let's dive into it. UC Capitals versus Sydney Flames. UC Capitals with the win. Game 2, Southside Melbourne Flyers hosting Adelaide Lightning, where I'm going to have the fortune to go to Southside Melbourne Flyers with the win. Game 3, Perth Lynx versus Geelong Dragons. I'm going with Perth Lynx with the win. Game 4, Sydney Flames hosting Southside Melbourne Flyers. I'm going with Southside Melbourne Flyers to win. Final game, Townsville Fire hosting Bendigo Spirit. They saved the best game to last with Townsville Fire with the win. and should be the best one to end the year. And oh boy, what a game this will be. Okay, it's time to wrap it up. And that is it from our latest episode for the NBL and WNBL for the Christmas Holiday Festival Christmas New Year's special. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes here on the BJ Show. Well, you like the update of the basketball news from the NBL and WNBL Australian basketball. Please go and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I much appreciate your support as well during this time for supporting the channel. Alright, thanks for watching. BJ Show's out. Thanks for listening. We're out. Bye for now.